Hello, Chiefs Kingdom, and welcome to Arrowhead Kingdom Chiefs Cast live from the MK, where we're going to be talking about Chiefs tailgates. I'm Josh, of course, and a big reminder that all Chiefs fans are invited to join us for game day. Make sure to visit arrowheadkingdom.org to learn more about the group and to find your local chapter. Also, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. So today we're going to be talking about Chiefs tailgates with Stacy and Clint from the Houston fan group. So welcome, you guys.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So the next big tailgate that we have coming up is Houston, which is the game coming this weekend. So before we get into the business of what this actually is, you guys are Chiefs fans in Houston. So are you guys both Houston natives, or are you from somewhere that's more Chiefs centric and you just found your way down there?
So I'm from Salina, Kansas. Born and raised there, been down here in Houston for just a little over 10 years. And, just been a Chiefs fan on at least since first grade, if not earlier.
Got it. Yeah. So I'm from Hayes, 100 miles from you.
Yeah.
Got the Fort Hayes hat on tonight. Stacy, where do you hail from?
Yeah, so I claim the Midwest, I guess, to be kind of home, moving multiple places. So I'm actually sort of the black sheep of my family. My dad's side of the family, all Vikings fans. They all live in Minnesota. My mom's side of the family, they live in Chicago. So naturally, they're Bears fans. Yeah. But when we moved to Overland Park in my middle school years, Chiefs was like the first professional team that I'd really been close to as far as geography goes. And then we did a bunch of fundraisers for our school. And what we did was we actually volunteered at the Chiefs Stadium and helped park. So those people in the parking lot that are waving you to go this direction and that direction, that was sort of my first exposure to the Chiefs Kingdom. And it's just been straight ever since.
Sure. So that was a fundraiser where you got to do the parking, or?
Yeah. For our high school. So I went to Blue Valley High School, yeah. And that was for our sports teams. They would pay us probably, I don't know, something less than minimum wage to go stand out there in the freezing rain and just like point at people. You park here, you drive there.
And half of them don't listen.
And yeah, normally they just sort of drive by you. They're like, yeah, I know where I'm going. But they would allow us to go into the stadium if it wasn't too full, which back in the late 90s was not necessarily sellout crowds every game.
Yeah, for sure. I remember the early 2000s, really the mid 2000 to 2010, that there were pretty cheap tickets to get during that period of time. That was was a little bit of a rough time. The pre and post Haley eras, which I know that we all so affectionately remember. You could get tickets pretty easily. So let's talk a little bit about this last game. The Broncos used to kind of own this team, but now I feel like they're kind of sweeping the streets that they think they used to own. What do you guys think of this game this last Sunday? Were you happy with the result? Were you unhappy with certain sides of the ball? I mean, I'd say as a whole, my impression is that social media was happy with the result, but unhappy with the overall effort. So, Stacy, what did you think of that game?
Yeah, so I know the Broncos have gotten sort of a bad rap this whole season as, that Russell Wilson trade was probably one of the worst things that franchise could have done. I do feel like their offense started sort of clicking, and that wasn't something that had been seen. But on the other side of the ball, Broncos defense, I feel, has actually been pretty solid throughout the whole season. And I guess it showed against us, and it kind of showed us some weaknesses that we need to work on.
Sure. Clint, what are your thoughts?
I mean, you always got to agree with the outcome of it. A win's a win, no matter how pretty or ugly it is. And then hopefully, Patrick gets all of his interceptions out. Hopefully that was the end of them. But with all that, you see all of his crazy throws that he comes, he had one of that game too. Those come with those risky or high risk, passes, he's always trying to thread that needle, those incredible passes, and then sometimes it just happens and it lands in the wrong. But two of those interceptions were just crazy. Like, how did that just happen?
Good defense.
So, but it was a test. Even though the Broncos aren't that good, I mean, it's an AFC West game, and they're going to fight. They're trying to break that losing streak. So, we've probably been on their calendar ever since, but we still got to play them again.
Yeah.
No, exactly. We 100% have been on their calendar, and I'm pretty aligned with what both you guys say. I mean, I can tell you, living up in the area where, Stacy mentioned, I live in Milwaukee, so Packer fans all over the place. We're an hour and a half from Chicago, so there's Bear fans everywhere. Viking fans are a thing as well. And a good friend of mine is a big Viking fan, and after games, he'll send me, stuff that he sees on Twitter. Nothing about 3 interceptions. He sent me the Jerick McKinnon first touchdown pass. So what I always think, just from a good perspective standpoint, is that there's probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 30 teams that would trade places with us, tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
Standpoint. And that's what they look at. I mean, and his comment today was, that's a video game play. I don't even know what you're supposed to do with that. And the answer is nothing.
Right.
If you're a Chiefs fan, relish it. If you're a Denver fan, just be horrified, because there's going to be more of that, because we are playing them again in week 17.
We're like 2 weeks away.
What are you guys' thoughts on the season so far? I mean, we're 10-3. There's questions about the defense, the fire Spags, witch hunt, fortune, shovel crews are all out and stuff like that. So where are you guys at? I mean, Clint, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
I like where we're at. The season's been good. We've lost some games we shouldn't have. We won some games we shouldn't have. But it's hard to jump on these coaches and all that with Spags. I don't know. I just let him finish out the season. It's just hard to be on these high caliber teams where our fan base wants that 17-0. They want, you lose a game, you make a mistake here. We're on everyone's schedule. Like, they want to beat the Chiefs. That 1, that 2, unfortunately now it's 3 teams that have beat us. But they want to count that game as a win, not a loss, which we've all, since, Patrick Mahomes came on, is we're expecting greatness. And sometimes it's hard to do that 17 weeks in a year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I can't think of anything that I do great in 17 weeks a year. Stacey, any other thoughts on that to add?
Drink beer.
Yeah.
Drink beer.
Pretty good at watching football.
17 weeks. Yeah, no, I agree with you guys. I mean, I don't know what else we could possibly ask for. We're in the hunt for the 1 seed in the AFC. I mean, the 5th annual Arrowhead Invitational is in order. I still think it's going to happen. I mean, they're going to be in a position where they have to win a game or 2 to make that happen. So, I still feel good about everything. And the 2 losses that they have to the Bills and the Bengals are by a combined 6 points. I mean, good teams win, and the Bills and Bengals are both good teams. One of them was in Arrowhead, which was unfortunate. Sucked to lose that game to the Bills, but neither one of those things prove anything in my mind. Those were both sugar highs for the Bills and Bengals fan bases, but they don't prove absolutely anything, and it does not establish anything that's going to be a winning formula in January. So, I mean, that's my thought process on that. The Indy game was a clunker. I was there. That game was miserable. I never want to watch a football game like that ever again. It was probably one of the worst sporting experiences I've ever had, but, here we are. These things happen. I also got to watch the Chiefs go to a Super Bowl in 2020 in January, so I'm going to go ahead and just kind of count that as a net positive and everything. So, but let's get into the real topic at hand, which is the Chiefs play in Houston this weekend. You guys are in Houston. rock hard Chiefs fans, and you guys maybe go down to Houston. So you have a hell of a plan going on. So you have everything for the entire weekend. So you have a Red Friday event. You have a tailgate on Sunday. So which one do you want to talk about first?
Let's talk Red Friday.
Yes.
Talk Red Friday. All right. So where's this happening?
Yeah, so we are going to have the Red Friday party at our home base for all of our watch parties, which is Little Woodrow's Midtown, beautifully known as Little Arrowhead for all the Chiefs Kingdom here. We have a cute little poster there in the background that we've made with kind of combining a Chiefs logo with the Little Woodrow's logo. So if people are in town on Friday and they're looking for a place to hang out with good friends and family and want to be around other Chiefs people from all over, not just Houston, Little Woodrow's Midtown is definitely the place to go. Get there as early as you want. We're going to start formally having people gather at 3, but they open at 11.
11 or noon,
yeah.
I think so.
And then they close at 2 a.m. So get there anytime. There's no charge as far as cover goes to get in, but they will card any and everybody. So even if you are in your 70s, they'll probably still ask you for your ID. And along with that it is a 21 and up bar only. So no minors allowed.
Yeah, no, that's wild. I think that's something that most people don't know. I mean, technically speaking, you're not supposed to leave your house. It's borderline illegal to leave your house without an ID. But I don't know that it matters really where you are anywhere in the country. You have to have your ID. And if there's places that are under scrutiny, which I can imagine downtown Houston being one of those, they just have to be careful and protect themselves. So, I've spent a decent amount of time in Houston, and I know that as one of the most sprawling, just cut apart cities that I've ever been in. There's just a ton of stuff going on down there. So talk a little bit more about where Midtown is. Is that downtown proper? Give us a geography lesson of Houston.
So downtown is kind of circled by Highway I-10 on the north side, 45 on the west, and then 59 on the east side. So you have downtown, and then you have Highway 45, then you have Midtown. So it is right next to downtown. I used to live a block and a half from Little Woodrow's, and it was an easy walk downtown too. So in that Midtown area, in the past 10 years, ever since I've been down here, it's been good. A lot of things going. There's a lot of stuff going around Little Woodrow's. So if you want to get out and go check something else in the area, it's a block away from several other items, bars, restaurants, little park here or there. So there's Little Woodrow's right across the street on both sides of it. 2 big parking lots. Fortunately, they're paid parking, but I think it's only $10.
$10, yeah.
But also, this now with Uber and everything like that, it's super easy to get around. I plan on Ubering there because
for sure.
I don't think my truck will be unless I find a driver.
Yeah. So how close are you guys to where the Rockets and the Astros play? Is that right in that action area?
Yeah, it's just on the other side of downtown.
It's 5-6 minute drive. Obviously traffic, but I do a lot of walking, and it was to the Toyota Center where the Rockets are, 20-minute walk from Little Woodrow's.
Nice. Okay, so you guys are right down in all the action.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then for afterwards, after the Chiefs game, there's a rail system that goes straight out to NRG. So if people want to come back after the game, they just hop on that train, and that train, there's a train stop
at McGowan.
5 blocks away, I believe.
The McGowan train station.
So you guys are post-gaming, hopefully a win. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I wouldn't be opposed to it for sure.
Right. So we're post game.
Well, we got to play every game. We got to play every game first.
So as of right now, we're going Red Friday in Little Woodrow's. Then you're going to tailgate at the game. We'll talk about that next. And then afterwards, you're going to go back to Little Woodrow's. So Little Woodrow's is going to see a lot of red and gold this weekend.
I sure hope so. I mean, they have been massively supportive of us the last few seasons. I mean, for so long, we looked for a home base.
Yeah.
And it was just door shut, door shut, door shut. And then we started a very small group of people that started to blossom as the Chiefs got better. And then the manager approached us and was like, hey, I'd like to make this an official watch site for Chiefs fans. And that was, 4 years ago?
Yep. So Woodrow's is always like a biased team. They didn't have a team. It was a sports bar. You come in, local teams are on, usually the Texans Sound because there's more Texans there, but they started and I think they did with college and they saw their numbers go up. And then they told the managers that, hey, go find us an NFL team. He goes, I got one guy to call. You have to call me because I was actually at the bar that day. And he's like, hey,
that's awesome.
My boss has told me, hey, to go find an NFL team. And from what I saw from you guys last night or last year, you have a pretty good following. So it's kind of easy. I was like, yes.
That's great. Yeah. So, I mean, we have a back room at a Buffalo Wild Wings here in Milwaukee. And what's interesting is we've gotten to know all the general managers. And at one point, one of them was telling us about how they have their regional meetings and they start talking about crowds for Packer games. And this lady had to go, well, I mean, we have a bigger crowd for Chiefs games. And cheers to that. So it's always great when the locals, ask for that. They ask to be infiltrated. So is that a good college football scene too, for the most part? I mean, it sounds like you guys watch a lot of college games. What does the fan, alignment look like in Houston? Because I know that Houston has their school and stuff, but is it like a Big 12 town that gets a little bit of everybody, or what does that look like on a college football day?
It's college football. It's a lot of little bit of everything, but mostly you're going to see is UT, the Aggies.
Yeah, you're gonna
Texas,
get
A&M is College Station is an hour and 20 minutes away.
Yeah.
You got UT, but now it's good seeing University of Houston getting into that Big 12.
Yeah, no, that's going to be exciting. I mean, you guys will get to see some games because if I'm not mistaken, you're K-State, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and then Stacy, what are you?
Oh man. So I grew up a Husker fan. I lived in Grand Island, Nebraska for 11 years.
Go on.
But I actually got my bachelor's degree from Sam Houston State, which is north of Houston.
Okay.
And I got a master's degree at University of Louisville. So, I have several allegiances when it comes to college football, and I get a lot of crap about it too.
Sure. That's awesome.
But you always have a good time. What is it? The Piney Woods?
Oh yeah. Battle of Piney Woods. Always fun.
There you go. All right. So let's talk about the tailgate on Sunday. What is going on Sunday? What's the plan?
You want to take it away?
Yeah. So I think they open up at 8:00. I live probably 6 minutes away from the stadium. So I plan to be in my truck by 7:00 heading out, waiting in line. And, we're going to get set up. It's a little different than at Arrowhead. It's where we can buy extra passes, and that way we can have adjoining spaces. So if we have 4 parking passes, you don't have to have a vehicle in there. You own those spots. So we got, I don't know how many we got, 5 or 6?
We have 8. We have 8 spots reserved just for free space.
So I'll have my truck. Stacey's husband will have hers. I think we got a couple other vehicles. So we're going to have, I think they're going to pre-make breakfast tacos for in the morning. We'll have a couple grills, music. I'm going to have a big flagpole with our Chiefs flying so people can.
This flag. Look for this flag here.
Love it.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, we'll be around. We got, there's a chance of rain, but we got 3 or 4 tents set up. Now, we can all stay protected from Mother Nature. Hopefully she's nice to us.
Well, luckily, the Texans Stadium is a dome, so you'll at least be dry during the game.
There's also a chance there won't be rain as well.
Yeah.
So,
right now it's 50-50.
Thinking of that. There you go.
Yeah, 50-50 chance.
So our tents might be used protection from the Texas sun.
From the sun.
Yeah. There you go.
I just want to let anybody and everybody's welcome to come to the tailgate. It is in the blue lot. You don't have to park in the blue lot to come. You just, wherever your parking pass is, you can just walk on over. It is bring your own alcohol. I don't want to mess with carding everybody and doing wristbands and stuff like that. So bring your own alcohol. We'll have some bottles of water there if you're not drinking. And we'll have a good time. Make your own breakfast tacos. And probably take a big group photo around 10:30.
10:30. All right. Yeah. So if you are in Houston and you're going to the game, this is absolutely the tailgate to be at. So make sure you go to the blue lot, 25, right?
Yeah, around section 25.
That's blue lot, section 25. So some of this you're building the plane while you fly it. I mean, that's how this stuff works. You have to go in, you got to stake your ground, look for the Chiefs flag. You're going to be in the friendly confines. It'll be little Arrowhead in the NRG parking lot. So that'll be a good thing. But you'll know who you're looking for because you already hung out with them on Friday.
Yes,
The other thing that I have to say is the city guide that you guys put together was elite, top-notch stuff. So check out our website and check out arrowheadkingdom.org. Go to the column and blog section, and you'll see the list of attractions that they put together in Houston, which I've been to some of those places. The one that jumped out at me, Taste of Texas. I love that restaurant. They have a tomahawk ribeye. I don't know why you would eat anything else if you're going down for a Chiefs weekend. Honestly, but that place is one of the most obnoxious, over-the-top eating places that I've ever been. They take you in to pick out your steak. They give you a baked potato the size of your head. It's great.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas. That is 100% my recommendation. That was the first place that jumped out. And then, the other thing that I noticed is the live music scene. Chris Isaac plays later that night. I mean, you can go see Chris Isaac at the House of Blues after you watch the Chiefs get a win and hang out a little. Yeah.
I want to fall in love.
Yeah. If you want to play wicked games, go for it. But yeah, Houston has a lot of good stuff going on downtown. Make sure that you link up with our group and then also check out the other stuff that's going on. Plenty of extracurriculars in Houston. So last thing that I want to make sure that we cover, game prediction. What do you have for a game prediction for the Chiefs? They're currently favored by 14 over Houston. And the over-under is 49. So what are your thoughts on that line, Stacey? You're kind of shaking your head. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, the point spread for the Texans versus Cowboys game was like 17. And that game was much closer than I think anybody anticipated. So even though the Texans didn't run away with a win against the Cowboys, I feel like they have some like pep in their morale, maybe a little more fuel to the fire to like, hey, we can play at a certain level. So why not make this game, which is deemed their homecoming game, by the way? Why not go balls to the wall and try to take down the Chiefs?
Yep, you always want to perform well on homecoming or ruin someone else's, for that matter.
Yeah.
Clint, what are your thoughts?
Right before the last week game, I was sitting there talking with the Cowboys fan. I was like, okay, those bad teams, always seem to come out and have one good game, no matter how bad they are. Because I know the Chiefs have been there, and we ruined a perfect season for Tom Brady.
We ruined a perfect season for Aaron Rodgers. when I was living here. That was great.
So all of that saying, I was like, okay, if the Texans have their one game, please be this week, not next week. So I'm hoping that the Texans can't, put 2 games in a row that they haven't done all season. And we walk out of this, in the first 6 seconds, like the last time we played in NRG.
Yeah.
But I don't know. They could play, they could show up. It could be a good game, but I still think, we walk out of this, it's going to probably be something weird. We'll win by like 12.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I mean, I'm looking at their schedule right now. The Texans, I think, as Stacy said, they have a lot of pride. And looking at their schedule, they haven't been blown out really at all. I mean, the closest thing to a blowout they had was the Raiders beat them by 18, which is, say that out loud. That's just weird. They also got, I mean, they held the Eagles to 29 points and put 17 up on them. So, yeah, I mean, going into this game, this is a team that has a ton of pride. They've had a lot of stuff they had to take on the chin with the whole Deshaun Watson thing, which I'm guessing they're probably pretty happy to not have him on the team right now.
Yes.
But they're going to be picking first and they're going to be taking a quarterback, but they're also going to try and make everybody on their schedule, which is the Chiefs, Titans, Jags, and Colts, as miserable as possible. Yeah. So, again, this is the same thing as the Denver game this last weekend. Kansas City has a bad schedule to end the season. They have, Houston, then they have Denver, they have Seattle, they have
Raiders,
and stuff like that. So it's just got to be a business approach, So they need to show up, they need to show out, they need to know they're coming in playing a team that's going to be motivated to not be embarrassed at home. And their ticket prices are embarrassing enough. So there we go.
I will say, though, talking to one of the Texans ticket brokers, he feels like the stadium is going to be somewhat along the lines of 80 to 85% Chiefs fans. So
wow. Okay.
It'll almost be a home game for us.
Well, there you go. Home game, homecoming, everything. Yeah. So I think you guys have quite the crowd coming to town. I think there's a lot of different groups that are going to be down there hanging out with y'all. So, you guys have a great weekend in Houston. Bring home a big win. Be as loud and proud as you possibly can. I'm going to be watching on TV. I expect to hear everything about the land of the free and the home of the Chiefs.
Yes.
And I expect to hear all kinds of cheers from a W as well. So one more thing before we go. Want to get your guys' takes on the current state of the AFC and tell me how you think the final thing is going to shake out. Who's going to be in the playoffs? Where are the Chiefs going to be? Stacey, what are your thoughts?
Oh, man, it's kind of a tight race. I mean, obviously the Bills are sort of leading at this point, but their schedule is not a cakewalk for the rest of the season. So I think there could potentially be a loss there. Really with any of the other AFC teams, they all have much tougher schedules than we do. So there could easily be a loss, which could bump us into that first seed. I have no doubt that we will win out our division. So it'll be exciting to see what unfolds the next few weeks.
Yeah. Colin, what are your thoughts?
Kind of that same lines. It's, any given Sunday for us and for everyone else in the hunt is, hopefully it bites them. And I mean, by them, the Bills, and not us. So we gotta continue. We gotta win. We gotta win our games and just let everything else unfold. Just to get that number one spot. If we don't get it, hey, we don't, we get to go out there, we play again, we stay on top. Sometimes those bye weeks end up hurting some people. And just get through to go all the way to, Scottsdale.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. So looking at the current playoff standings, it's Bills, Chiefs, Ravens, Titans, Bengals, Dolphins, Chargers are the 7 that are in right now. So the Bills' next 4 games are hosting the Dolphins, in Chicago against the Bears, in Cincy against the Bengals, and then they host the Patriots. So that's what that looks like. I have a hard time believing they go 4-0 in that. Again, Chiefs have to take care of business. But what I think is the most interesting question here is the Jets are currently the 8 seed. They're the first team out, matching record with the Chargers. So Chargers, Jets, who do you think is in? Who do you think is out?
Ooh.
I mean, I want to say the Chargers in because
as much as I hate to say
AFC West.
Yeah.
But that's the only reason I'm saying that.
Much as I hate to say it, Chargers, I feel like the Jets have been so up and down, and they can't figure out who they want for quarterback.
No, I mean, I don't think they want anybody that's on my roster. But here we are.
Yeah.
Right. Well, anything else before we get out of here, guys?
Yeah, I'd love to say a few things about our specific watch party here in Houston.
Sure. Yeah.
So we obviously not only are Chiefs Kingdom, but we do some good with raising money every season for one of the players' charities or foundations. So our first year as an organized watch party, we took on Mahomes, 15 in the Mahomies. And we raised some money for him. That was the year we won the Super Bowl. The year after that, we did Travis Kelce. And that was during COVID time, and we still raised a good amount of money. Last year was Chris Jones Sack Nation Foundation. And then this year we have Derek Thomas's Third and Long Foundation. So every watch party, we do a raffling off Chiefs items specifically, and the money goes to these foundations, to these charities. And something I didn't mention about Red Friday is that we will have a special raffle going on Red Friday, all stuff that you can take to tailgate with you. So it'll be good prizes to win.
There you go. Clint, anything to add?
No, I can't wait to see all these fresh new faces coming into town. I've been, watching some of these other guys with their hometown tailgates and home cities other than, Kansas City. I just love seeing that. And I just can't wait till everyone gets to come see ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, y'all do a bang up job on game day, and I know you're going to crush this weekend. So I'm looking forward to seeing all the pictures and everything for that. Wish I could be down there with you. But you guys have a great time. Make sure that you bring home a win, cheer loud, be proud, go red and gold, and go Chiefs.
Go Chiefs.